What's up, Revo fans? We've been out here today in a little bit of wet and muddy conditions. As we've all seen, we've just had the release of the brand new redesigned specialized Levo SL, and we've already had on test, funnily enough, the current Levo, specialized Levo full power. So I'm not going to talk about specs on these bikes today. We've already seen all the details of the new SL come out. We all know about the current bike. Obviously the Levo has about double the power and double the battery output over the SL. So what does that actually mean out on the trail? So as you can see today, we've been doing some literal back-to-back testing, riding one section on one bike and then swapping straight away to the other. From the video footage, everything looks pretty similar, but the feeling of the bikes down the trail feel very, very different. The trail we're riding today is pretty rough, not the fastest trail, but very rough, some bigger features and that sort of thing. And to be honest, over the rougher sections, the full power, full weight Levo does definitely feel a bit more stable, a little bit more confidence inspiring when you get offline a little bit, which was happening pretty regularly today due to the slick conditions. When this happens on the SL, it's easy to sort of maybe get into a little bit of a panic and not be able to pull it straight back online. So when it comes to rougher trails, generally I would sort of lean personally towards the full size, full weight Levo. Just a bit more confidence inspiring, a bit more stable of a ride. Being a shorter guy as well, I'm riding a shorter bike, so I don't have that long wheelbase. However, when it comes to more technical, sort of jankier trails, the lightweight of the SL makes it a lot easier to maneuver. Both of these bikes are mullet as well, I should mention. So they've got the exact same sort of footprint from that aspect. The geometry is very, very similar. But just purely due to the weight, changing direction in a hurry, ripping around those tighter corners and getting up over certain things on the trail, the SL is a lot more, naturally due to the lighter weight, easier to throw around. When it comes to jumping though, both bikes feel very, very similar. There is a little bit of a sort of a lag, I guess you could say, on the full weight bike that you sort of do have to get used to initially, but once you've wrapped your head around that, it's no dramas at all. As you can see, like, you've got no dramas doing the same features in the same way on both bikes. So yeah, like really it does come down to what you're gonna ride the most. Like, what are your local trails gonna suit more to? Are they rougher, faster, steeper trails maybe, where you want that bit more assistance on the way back up as well? You might lean more towards a full size e-bike. Whereas if you're riding maybe a bit more trail bike sort of laps, or you are a bit of a fitter sort of person, you want to push yourself that bit more, the SL is gonna benefit you that bit more. Having said that, the SL, I guess you could look at it kind of as a lightweight sports car. You definitely have to think about your shifting when you're climbing a lot more. You can't just sort of rely on, the big 90 Newton meters, for example. That motor is just like a diesel locomotive. That thing, any gear, as long as you can get the cadence up enough, it'll pull you up any hill. Whereas on the smaller power motor, you do have to definitely select your gear before you get to a certain little pinch or something like that. Otherwise, it's just not going to get you up on the motor alone. So taking all those things into consideration for these local trails here that I ride all the time, I'm going to lean towards the full weight, sort of full power motor. The climb up is pretty treacherous, very steep, full of steeper pinches. So it's nice to just sort of be able to rely on that bigger power if I want to. Having said that, I do really, really enjoy the SL for playing around. It's a bit more nimble, a bit more playful. It likes the jumps a little bit better, if you're trying to really whip it out or throw some tricks in there and that type of thing. So it's a very, very tough choice, but you just got to think about what's going to suit your local trails more. We are going to go a bit more in depth than this in our next print issue. So if there's any sort of questions that any of you have, or any type of features that you think I've sort of missed commenting on, let us know down in the comments, and we'll try to include those in the written review of the comparison between the all new Levo SL as well as the full size, full weight Levo. Thanks guys.